Right, everyone, I do believe we are underway for round 7 of the International Gran Turismo League's Gr.2 season. We're back at the Nürburgring Grand Prix track, hopefully for another exciting race for you guys. We've got a field of 10 here today. We've got Apex Predator, Bellin, Alegna, Vitamin G, Fubs, Wizard, Heppo, Alex and Dawson, and one other person that I need to remember the name of. Axel. Used to be Your Gutted, now is called Axel. You can tell I'm professional. Yeah, welcome back. We haven't had a race for a week now, so yeah, back at it again with more Sunday action. Nürburgring Grand Prix track, one of the tracks we had to use for what's it called? Pre-season testing, in which we saw JPS Raiden and Indian Food or Alegna? Oh, one of them won the races. I've completely forgotten. Yeah, we don't have Raiden anymore, unfortunately, so we'll have to see whether Alegna will just run away with it, as he did in one of the pre-season races, I think, or whether we could see Bellin challenging maybe Axel. Of course, we've got Apex Predator and Vitamin G, always very fast. Vitamin G known for coming up with alternative strategies during the race. Last time he did manage a podium in the feature race of round 6 around the Red Bull Ring Grand Prix track. Oh wait, no, sorry, race track. I'm not supposed to say Grand Prix track, apparently. I don't know why, but Wizard gets annoyed at that. But anyway, I've just got to go put stuff everywhere. And yeah, the stuck check is getting underway, so this should be entertaining. So yeah, you guys go ahead and watch the stuck check while I just do my thing. And they're underway. Oh, what an entertaining start. We have Wizard on pole yet again. Wow, Wizard going straight for the side swipe on Alegna, and it hasn't worked whatsoever. Alegna just really bodying that hit, and, well, it's too late for Wizard now, I guess. Stuck checks the great. Oh, Mr. Heppo. Oh, I'm thoroughly impressed by that dedication towards the spinning. As I just need to go share stuff in places. I think I've done it everywhere now, I think. Yes. Cool, we are all good. And now 10-minute qualifying is beginning. Now, another thing that we are changing is before I was using I'm still going to use the keyboard, but I will actually be including the race info from now on. So that brings up the timing board as per usual. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want at all. I want the lap. Oh wait, no, this is the lap time thing. So this will show you in the middle of the screen, as you can see. What? Oh, Dawson. Oh, that is not promising for the qualifying. Oh, getting it a little bit wrong there, but it's a good thing it's only an outlap. But yeah, we will be having the timings in the middle of the screen so that people can see just how quick people are going during the lap. That will definitely make things a little bit more interesting during the Super Pole or the top 5, as we will be able to see, well, what sort of sectors they're doing, and maybe be able to get some comparisons, although no one will have actually set a lap at that time, so not 100% sure how it's going to work. But fastest lap will now also appear, so we'll be able to see just what sort of lap time the fastest guys are setting. And yeah, qualifying is underway. We'll watch Dawson for a bit. because, well, he crashed out earlier and now I feel quite bad, so let's keep an eye on him. But yeah, hello Stevie, hello Hippie, hello Heppo. That is a weird thing to say. Hello Heppo. Yes. But yeah, qualifying is underway. And we've now got 10 minutes of talking to do while these guys shuffle around the track, basically. So, how has everyone been? Has it been a good week? Has it been a bad week? Has it been an eventful week? Uneventful? Has it... Have you had a week? I'm guessing you have. But, yeah. Dawson... We'll watch Dawson go for a lap here. I need to turn the keyboard on, because that's a terrible camera. Go with that. Where's the keyboard plugging in thing? There we go. Keyboard. Perfect. Now I can use buttons. So if I do that, or that... Oh, there we go. I've got my buttons. We are ready. We're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, following Dawson along the track. A little bit on the grass through those corners. Not what you'd like, really. As the car, especially GR2 cars, especially the Honda, in fact, can get very sideways if you get it on the grass at all. But coming through tight hairpin, there are a couple of different lines you can take through there. You can choose to stay as tight as possible out, or you can drift out a little bit wider and carry a little bit of extra speed on the exit, but it can cost you position in the race as people look up the inside. Coming through the Schumacher S, completely flat out. Now this corner, a tricky left-hander, which you can drift a little bit wide on the exit, as the game does allow that. This corner, oh, Dawson getting it very wrong, just the car slipping out from under him. And yeah, this hasn't been a brilliant lap from Dawson, unfortunately. But now braking towards this chicane. Yep, it's a chicane. And around the 100-metre board, sometimes a little bit before when you've got an extremely heavy car, but now coming around the final corner. And this has been a very untidy lap from ADX Dawson. Thank you, Dawson, we love you. I'm really sorry. We'll look now at no, I need to use the pat, not that. There we go. We'll look at Axel for a bit, currently in second place, getting a nice drift on through the corner. Hi Hippie. Been on my PS like twice or something. Very unfortunate, Hippie. I was on it till 3 o'clock last night because Apex Legends. Wow, that is really sad saying that out loud. Speaking of busy, I've got to go to Spa, lol, I'll be back soon. Fair enough, Hippie. Enjoy your shop. Yeah, looking at Axel, currently in second place. Everyone's only set one lap, though, currently. And some people haven't even set a lap. They were just going around, burning some fuel. That is a strategy we quite often see in top split races nowadays. As people have grown smarter, they've figured out, obviously, the less fuel they have, the better times they can set. So you'll often see guys like Tidgney spending the entirety of the qualifying sessions in their FIA races just burning fuel, and then they'll do one flying lap at the end. This wasn't as much the case when people could only do one FIA race, as people would often set a banker lap to be, you know, a little bit safe in them, because obviously you can only do that one race. But now that we're able to do multiple races one after another, people are more willing to take those risks. But in this sort of lobby, you have quite a bit of time. You've got that 10 minutes. So you really can just go around burning a bit of fuel, or you can quite easily just set a bank lap and then burn some fuel. You've got quite a bit of time. Obviously, this lap around a 1 minute 48 lap time for some of the faster guys. 1 minute 47 if you're a Legner. As he just completely proves me wrong. Yeah, that does mean people will be able to set around 5 or 6 fast laps, or sorry, laps, as they will need to. Nope, I've completely lost my train of thought. Basically, they could set 5 or 6 laps, depending on how fast they cross the start-finish line. It seems Axel, who was the first out on track, should be easily able to get into that 6th lap territory. But some guys behind, like the person now crossing the start-finish line, maybe not, maybe having to settle for those 5 laps. But currently, looking at your top 5, everyone seems to have set a slightly representative lap. We've got Alegna in first, Bellin in second, Axel in third, Vitamin G in fourth, and Apex Predator in fifth. Will we see Wizard, ADX Dawson, or Alex knocking on the door of that top 5? We hope to see them challenging, because it does make things interesting. Wizard obviously did get into the top 5 shootouts at Red Bull Ring. Very impressive from him. We love to see some pace from, a bit of an outsider, because quite often we don't associate Wizard with those top 5 positions, so it's really nice to see him picking up the pace a little bit and getting into them, and he's proving yet again his class. He's right next to the top 5, and hopefully he can knock on the door for it. Vitamin G, obviously someone who's always been around that top 5. I'm pretty sure he's only missed 1 or 2 top 5 shootouts, so he's been very consistent. Although he hasn't been challenging for pole position very often, obviously he's very fast in the general sense. He's challenging Apex Predator, Axel, ADX Dawson quite a lot. But as people are getting more adapted to their cars, obviously as the season goes along, it seems the field is bunching up a little bit more. Before, at the beginning of the season, we would see quite a large gap between Bellin, Alegna and the rest of the field, but slowly that gap has been decreasing. Last race, feature race, I believe it was only around 15 seconds to Vitamin G. Now, of course, that is quite a large gap, but you do have to remember that Bellin and Alegna are very fast drivers. So it is a little bit understandable. But slowly that gap is coming down as everyone's just getting a little bit faster. And yeah, really learning how to handle their cars. GR2 cars, some of the more difficult cars to handle, to be fair. If you blip the throttle slightly too much, it really can slip out on you. GR2, not one of my favourite categories of car, purely because of that. I find it very difficult to control them. My throttle control is something I'm not very good at, and it's something that is essential when racing in these cars. There's currently Bellin moving up into that first position with 47.2. These guys are just smashing the lap time predictions that I had put out. And if it continues like this, will we be at a 44? No, we won't. That is physically impossible on the hard compounded tyres. But I'm pretty sure it's possible on the softs. But still, I reckon a 46 might be achievable by the end here. It seems as though Bellin and Alegna are very close to the 46ers. Bellin's setting a 48 there, and Alegna... no, I have no idea yet. Nope. No idea where Alegna is. But anyway, we'll follow along with Bellin as he gets a little bit slidey through that first corner. We'll cut to the bonnet camera. As you can see, coming through the section which I'm pretty sure is not involved in the Nordschleife track, or the 24-hour track, whatever you call it. As currently going purple is Bellin, so definitely some more room for improvement. We did see him have that little slide on in the first corner. Maybe that's just the Honda getting that extra little bit of rotation, but currently going a little bit faster than before. We'll have to see if he can carry this momentum throughout the rest of the lap. Going a little bit wide off the apex, but as we said earlier, you can do that and carry quite a good amount of speed, as only 1,000th of a second off of his top time is Bellin. As we did see there, Alegna a little bit off the track there, as Bellin has decided to abandon this lap, as the timer is in fact up. So, not 100% sure what happened, but Bellin doing some lovely drifting. And now it seems we've got our top 5, but we will have to see quickly if there is anyone able to challenge. We've got Apex Predator about to finish his lap. Maybe he can challenge for that top 5. ADX Dawson has snuck in there currently, but only about 200ths of a second ahead of Apex Predator. Where will Apex Predator slide into? It's 4th position, Apex Predator, moving back up into that top 5. And Dawson has already completed his lap. Very unfortunate for Dawson. We can see Alex is parked up, Boobs is parked up. Mr. Heppo not quite done yet. We'll have to see if he's able to challenge. Currently down in 10th place. It hasn't been great for Mr. Heppo. But as he comes across the line, rounding the final corner. Will he be able to get into that top 5? It doesn't quite seem so. His timer is very much past it at this point. And yeah, spinning out of the line, knowing he's not really done a good enough lap there. And Mr. Heppo, unfortunately, starting in 10th position. Don't think he had practiced quite as much as usual. But as you can see here, we have ERT Bellin in pole position. Of course, none of this actually matters too much because the top 5 will have to go again. So we've got Bellin, Alegna, Axel, Apex Predator, and Vitmin G rounding out the top 5. And these guys will be the 5 that go for one more lap after the lobby has been reset, going for that Super Bowl. Bellin in a very prime position. We know that the Honda can be very fast around this track, as we have seen before in pre-season testing that the Honda did do very well around here. And we'll have to see if Bellin can continue that excellent form he's been in after claiming the victory of the sprint race at the Red Bull Ring, and see if he can claim the victory of the sprint race at the Nürburgring. Two very different tracks, admittedly. Of course, Red Bull Ring very much dependent on that acceleration. To get out of those corners, you need that initial acceleration through turns 1, 2, and 3. But the Nürburgring, a little bit more technical, but generally you find that does suit the Honda a little bit more. The car very easy to rotate, as well, it just seems to be a bit of a feather in comparison to the other cars, as the track has been reset and we can get underway with the top 5 qualifying. Hey, Alegna. Oh, I love saying that. For those of you who don't know, Bellin basically introduced one of our streams one time saying, hey. And we will forever use it as a joke. Andrew Dawson, why did I just call you Andrew? I feel so formal all of a sudden. Sick will do me. I've not played the game since last Sunday's race. Fair enough, Dawson. I mean, when you do have that long period of time where you haven't played the game, you do have to suddenly adapt again a little bit. Obviously, Dawson not able to commit to a full-time role anymore, although I'm pretty sure he has been in every race anyway. Not 100% sure. I think he may have missed 1 or 2. Not sure. But, yeah, not able to fully commit to it. As you can see, he's still doing an excellent job. He was able to get into that top 5 shootout at Red Bull Ring, and very close to that top 5 shootout here as well. Mr. Heppo, Dick Finn gets destroyed by Technical German Live. I would give that a watch anytime. Oh, I should not have said that on stream. I've missed 2 races. I got it right. Hell yeah. But anyway, looking now, we have ERT Axel, the first man out on track yet again. He was the first man out on track in the initial qualifying session, and he's the first one this time. We'll have to see what sort of lap time he can do. Obviously now we will be able to see the sectors that these guys are setting, as we have got the timing in the middle of the screen, which I don't normally have, but we have this time. So Axel coming across the start-finish line and starting his lap. We'll cut to bonnet camera, see what he's able to do as he goes into the first corner. So very heavy braking into this corner, obviously. It's pretty much a hairpin as you go into this stadium section. You've really got to blip the throttle through this next corner before you're hard on the brakes again. Again, just letting the car roll around this corner. I've completely forgotten all the names of the corners and what number they are, but you know what, we'll call the next one turn 6. So turn 6, pretty much a left-hand right angle, yep, with the next turn 7, a right angle towards the right, as you accelerate hard towards the next hairpin. As we've said many times, can take a multiple amount of lines through this corner. But Axel opting to go very close to the apex, taking a very neat and tidy line through there. Currently in the mid-58, so a decent lap from Axel so far. Obviously, everyone will be on the exact same settings. There is no tyre wear, there is no fuel, so people can just push flat out throughout the entirety of the lap. They won't be trying to get rid of fuel on their outlap or anything like that. For now, Axel, a 120.4. I'm not 100% sure about the sectors, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty good. Of course, everyone looking to be aiming for around that 47 mark. As Bellin setting a 47.3 the first qualifying session. We'll have to see where Axel is able to come with, in comparison to that with his lap. Very close to the wall there on the final corner. A little bit sideways coming out of it, but able to handle it. At a 48.8, not fantastic, but a decent lap nonetheless. We'll go back to Vitminji. He's currently purple, apparently. We'll have to see what sort of lap time he is able to set coming across the line. A 48.2, but now looking back at Apex Predator, oh, only a 49. Very unfortunate for Apex Predator. Looking back, we have a Legner coming through for a 47.6, but now Bellin is the only one left. Oh, so close is Bellin. A 47.7, and Bellin not quite able to snatch the pole position after he got first position in the initial qualifying session. But looking at your pole position, man, it is ERT Electa. He's done it yet again. Turn 6 is actually turn 5. Fubs, I'm really sorry, but I don't know. I don't know any. But anyway, big congratulations to ERT Electa, doing a fantastic job setting that 47.6. We do know, obviously, that people can go faster around this track, as we saw Bellin do earlier. However, you don't want to be pushing too much on that outlap, because you can drop all the way from a possible first position all the way down to 5th, and you really don't want that. A lot can ride on that individual lap. Yeah, fantastic job from ERT Elegna, ERT Bellin, and Vitminji. Please say it was Vitminji. Oh, I've completely forgotten. ERT Axel, Vitminji, it was Vitminji. I am dead certain of that. Vitminji getting 3rd position. And now we will watch as people are having immense fun. Well, we'll just watch Heppo, because, let's be honest, we love the friendly Finn. He is quite literally the opposite of Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen, you think of the Iceman, you think cool as butter. That just didn't make any sense. Why is butter cool? What am I? Cool as ice? That works so much better. Why did I say butter? Could you not Google the corner names if you really want to know them? Oops, I would, but no. I hate Superpole ERT Axel. Well, Axel did get 4th position, so it's not the end of the world for him. Apex Predator wasn't able to hook together a lap either. Yeah, we'll have to see where these guys end up. ERT Axel was... Oh my god, there is so much tyre squealing going on. I need to change to someone else right now. Apex Predator. No, that's not any better. Vitminji. Oh, that... just... It's so smooth, isn't it? It's so much nicer. Yeah, Axel, in the initial qualifying session, did qualify in 3rd position, but unfortunately dropped down to 4th after the Super Pole. That is often the case with Super Poles. You will see a little bit of a mix-up. We had the top 2 switching positions. We had 3 and 4 swapping positions, and I do believe Apex Predator stayed in the same position. Or did he get 4th? I really should remember this stuff, but there's so much to remember. But anyway, we now have 3 minutes until we get underway with the race. As we will just watch Vitminji. Let's be honest. I know what you will want. You will want to watch Heppo. We're waiting for him to go spinning around again. Let's wait for it. It's going to happen at some point. He's going smoothly right now, but I know he can hear me. And I know that he's about to Go drift. Oh, Apex Predator, in fact, is drifting everywhere. Maybe we should be following along with him. That's Mr. Hippo. Well, he's not quite entertaining enough. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the entertainment we need. Apex Predator is really bringing the heat right now. You know, maybe this is why Apex Predator got last in the Super Bowl qualifying. I think it might be. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't seem promising, especially for the feature race, which involves tyre wear. This does not look good at all. Yeah, we have about 2 minutes left now, maybe 1. I really just want to get the race underway because currently I'm trying to think of stuff to say, and none of it is really working. Oh, there we go, the race is about to get underway, yes! Of course, we do have the formation lap system in place right now. I will run you through it as it is happening, yet again, because, well, it's just way more entertaining having a formation lap. So as you can see here, we have Alegna starting in pole position. We have Belen starting in second, Vitmiji in third, Axel in fourth, Apex Predator in fifth, and ADX Dawson rounding out the top 6. And now, what normally happens here is everyone just gets immediately underway. We normally have a rolling start, but now, as you can see, everyone just going nice and smoothly. So essentially what this is a formation lap. So you often see, no, you always see in Formula One races, people or the racers go around the track one time doing a formation lap. Why am I quoting Formula One? Surely this makes more sense in any other racing series like VTCC. So yeah, they all go around the track one time, basically warming up their tyres, maybe burning fuel if they want to. Obviously they don't need to in this race, but yes, just going around right now at 60 miles per hour, warming up their tyres, as you can see as they're weaving about a bit. And what will happen when they reach the final couple of corners of the racetrack is everyone will drop down to 40 miles per hour. They will line up in rows of 2, so Alegna and Belen side by side practically, Vitmiji and Axel side by side, Apex Predator and ADX Dawson side by side, etc, etc. As, whoa, oh no, oh, we've got to see this. This is a formation lap thing. This is happening, right? I'm sorry, Alex, but this has to happen. So, Alex already riding the grass a little bit there. As you can see, trying to warm up his tyres. So, coming around the corner. Just flips the throttle a little bit too much and straight into the wall. I hate to do that to you, Alex, but yeah, that needed to be replayed. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Dawson and Alex. Seems the grid's a little bit stop-starty right now. We'll jump to Alegna. Pop it back at the racing cameras. So as you can see, the weaving around can very occasionally go wrong. Obviously at Red Bull Ring it didn't go quite that wrong at all, but hopefully this is a sign of things to come during the race. But yeah, everyone warming up their tyres that last little bit, getting the temperature in. And I believe after the chicane, they will be dropping down to 40 miles per hour. and waiting for the go signal. Now the go signal will be when the fastest lap appears on screen for both me, you guys, and for the racers. So it will be basically essentially when Alegna crosses the start finish line. That will be the go signal, so that should give Alegna a little bit of a head start technically, because he will know when he crosses the start finish line, whereas everyone else will have to react to that a little bit. And yeah, everyone now dropping down to 40 miles per hour, as you can see, lining up side by side, waiting for the go signal, waiting to cross the start finish line, and they're off. Alegna seemingly not actually getting a great start, with Bellin moving ahead ever so slightly. Bellin up into first right now, and with that inside line, seeming as though he's going to be claiming first position. Got a little bit of contact behind, with ADX Dawson actually moving up into fourth position right now, trying to hang it around the outside of Vitmin G. He's actually possibly going to make this work. Vitmin G now has the inside for the next corner. If ADX Dawson can hold on, not quite it seems. No, he's got the inside line for the next corner. As Vitmin G, a little bit of a snap, with Vitmin G and ADX Dawson now side by side again. But Dawson with that inside line might be able to move ahead, unless Vitmin G, no, he's not quite able to hold on, and Dawson has gained 6 positions in a matter of half a lap. Not 6, 3 positions, up from 6th to 3rd position. And a brilliant job so far from Dawson. A little bit of door banging, but you do expect that on the first lap, with everyone being a little bit aggressive. Currently, Dawson up in 3rd position. We'll look down the grid a little bit to Mr. Heppo, currently moving up into 8th position. He was down in 10th earlier, but has moved ahead of both Wizard and Fubuki. So doing an excellent job so far in his Honda is Mr. Heppo. And right on the rear of Alex, who didn't seem to get a great run through the Schumacher S and the 2 corners following it. We'll look ahead again, see Apex Predator. Right on the rear of Vitmin G, the 2 of them teammates in both the Lexuses. Yeah, we'll go with that. But Apex Predator 2 temps now back from Vitmin G, who unfortunately didn't have the start he would have wanted, losing a position to ADX Dawson, and is now down in 4th. With Apex Predator possibly looking for a move down the inside now of Vitmin G. He was having a look for it earlier. Now the 2 of them side by side going through the next couple of corners. But Vitmin G now with the inside line for the next corner, seeming as though he'll be able to hold him off. Apex Predator getting a little bit sideways through the corner, and that might allow Axel to look around the outside, which turns to the inside for the next corner. If he can hang on, he's not quite able to do so, as Dawson was the lap before. Apex Predator holding on to 5th position now, but still right on the rear of Vitmin G, who doesn't seem to be able to capitalise on Apex Predator's small mistake and try to break away a little bit, with Apex Predator still right in that slipstream. As this is an excellent little fight for 4th position right now, but we will look ahead to see Alegna 6 temps behind Bellin. Obviously Alegna did claim the Super Bowl, as he did start first in the field, but Bellin getting that better acceleration. The Honda does typically have a little bit better acceleration than the Nissan, so that would have helped out Bellin. And now Alegna's going to have to try to push to get back ahead of Bellin. Of course, the joke lap will come into effect very soon. The pits will open, I believe, this lap, maybe next one. It opens on one of the 2 laps, and then it will close on lap 11. So everyone will have to do their joke lap at some point in that gap. But we'll look back, actually, at ERT Axel having to burn some penalty, and now possibly losing a position to Alex Wards. Alex Wards with much better straight line speed right now, because Axel was burning that penalty. And Axel, unfortunately, losing a position to Alex. Now, it's likely he would have picked that up in the chicane, the final 2 corners of the track. It's a very easy place to pick up a penalty, as if you just go over those curbs slightly too much, you will definitely pick up a penalty. The game does recognise that you are cutting the track. as there is a limit to how much the game will allow you to hop over those curves. And as Axel really pressurising Alex right now, we know he's fast, but giving him a little bit of a love tap there through those two corners. And he's going to have to plan his move a little bit more carefully now. It's currently Alex. Oh, he's putting on a little bit of a defensive masterclass. As maybe not, he has completely lost the rear. That was the worst timing for me to say that, really, wasn't it? Oh, what a shame. We'll quickly check just what happened there. So as you can see here, coming towards the hairpin, a little bit on the grass there is Alex, but he's hanging onto his car quite well right now. A little bit wide of the apex, but as you can see, really spinning the wheels as he goes around the corner, and Axel easily able to make that move. Now Alex back down into 7th position, with Wizard very much there for company right behind him in 8th. He has lost about a second to Axel. As Wizard, well, he's going to want to try to get ahead of Alex. He's got some good pace in his Nissan, the two of them, both teammates in the Nissan. But Alex going to defend into this first corner. But taking a compromised line, will that allow Wizard any sort of opportunity? Not quite, not close enough to even think about going for anything just yet. But we will look back ahead at Alegna. 6 tenths behind Belin now. The gap been around that much throughout the entirety of this race so far. As Alegna's going to need to try to find some pace and catch up ever so slowly. The Nürburgring, well, it's got a plentiful amount of overtaking opportunities. You've obviously got into turn 1. You've got into that hairpin that they have just taken. You can, of course, try to go for a move in the stadium section, as we saw Dawson pull plentiful amounts of moves on the first lap. Or you can wait until the penultimate corners, the chicane, and try to pull a move there. But currently Alegna not quite close enough to even think about going for a move. He's got an 8 tenths gap to Belin. And he'll need to close that up ever so slightly through pure driver skill, as the slipstream in these cars does not start till around 8 tenths. So we'll have to close that up if he wants Belin to carry him, as actually Belin losing a bit of time through that final corner, but seems he's got much better acceleration out of it, so Alegna still just out of the slipstream. And we'll look back for a moment at Mr. Heppo and Wizard Egan, very close to one another. We'll go on board with Wizard Egan cutting to the outside now. As Mr. Heppo defending that inside line, forcing Wizard Egan to go around the long way. But now he has the inside line for the next corner, and it seems Wizard's going to be able to move back up into 8th position. Mr. Heppo not quite able to hold on, as Fubuki trying to get involved in this fight right behind Mr. Heppo. A matter of 3 tenths between the two of them, and we'll have to see if Fub's able to close up enough to pull a move on Mr. Heppo. He was able to out-qualify him, so we know he's got around similar pace to him. As Fubuki currently 4 tenths back, a little bit wide there through that hairpin, but able to bring the car back, but losing about 2 tenths through there, as Mr. Heppo currently being helped a little bit by Wizard ahead of him. He will be right in the slipstream, which is going to help him defend not only against Fubs, but also possibly attack back at ERT Wizard. As currently looking as Fubuki, losing the rear as he clips the grass ever so slightly. And that has just lost him a massive amount of time, about 4 seconds there. Really unfortunate for Fubuki, as the rear just stepped out on him as his rear tyre clips the grass. But we'll look ahead at Mr. Heppo. No, we won't, because there is a better fight in ERT Axel and Apex Predator. Axel seemingly has closed up the gap again. doesn't look to be looking for a move just yet. Apex Predator with enough of a gap to easily defend going into that first corner. Not really having any issues of pressure or anything, but Axel currently right on the rear of Apex Predator. He's closed him down massively. There's a little bit of contact coming through that corner, but now Apex Predator with the inside line. He's just going to slot ahead. Not needing to defend, just taking his average line through the next few corners. Clearly with nerves of steel. Not feeling any stress right now. As Axel, he's going to need to try to force a mistake. Or try to get a much better exit out one of the corners. Apex Predator, typically a very consistent driver. So it will be difficult if Axel wants to try to pull off any sort of moves. As we have reached the halfway mark of this race, 7 laps into the 14-lap race. And currently, looking at your top 5, we have Bellin, we have Alegna in second, Dawson in third, Bitminji in fourth, and Apex Predator in fifth, but being hassled by the Nissan of Axel directly behind him. Alex Ward sits in 7th position right now, with Wizard just behind him in 8th. As both Bellin and Alegna coming straight in at the exact same time for their Joker laps. So both of them seemingly wanting a completely straight fight between one another. As Bellin has in fact set a faster lap than his Super Bowl qualifying lap, and possibly than his initial qualifying lap, which was faster than his Super Bowl. So absolutely flying right now is Bellin, as actually, looking back, we can see Alegna will have to overtake Alex if he wants to get to Bellin, who seems to be about 2 seconds ahead right now. Really unfortunate for Alegna, because he's trying ever so hard to get back ahead of Bellin. He had him in the Super Bowl. But we know Bellin's car, well, it seems to have the ultimate pace right now, whereas the Nissan just doesn't. But Alegna, he's got a bit of work cut out for him, because Alex Wart's right in the middle could be a bit of a nuisance. As we'll have to see if he's able to pull a move coming into any of the upcoming corners. Cutting to bonnet camera so we can watch him just close up on to Alex Wart's. Just handling the car ever so nicely, nearly onto the gravel there, but handling it just perfectly. Riding the curbs a little bit, just keeping the car under control. As currently 3 tenths back from Alex. He's going to need to try to go for a move soon, unless Alex is going to come in for his Joker lap soon. As Alex opting to get out of the way. So clearly what Alex is thinking there is, if we end up fighting, it's going to slow both of us down. And I don't want to ruin my race. So Alex just opting to let Alegna straight through. And now in 6th position, not going in for his Joker lap just yet. So maybe he's just thinking, I need to go for as long as possible right now. Keep ahead of that pack of Wizard, Mr. Heppo and Fubs. Maybe challenge a little bit further up. And the best way I can do that is try to stick with Alegna and Bellin, as actually missing his braking point as he was in the slipstream of Alegna. And losing, well, not only quite a bit of time, but also the slipstream of Alegna, which will not help him in the long run. But currently, looking at your race leader, it is ADX Dawson. ADX Dawson is one of, I believe, only 2 people that hasn't currently done their Joker lap. Once ADX Dawson has done his Joker lap, we do expect him to emerge around that 3rd place position, just slotting in behind where Bellin and Alegna were originally. But you never know. There could be an incident with Dawson, there could be an incident with Bellin and Alegna. He could be challenging for the win. We have only got 5 laps remaining of this sprint race, but currently we just don't know what's going to happen. It seems everyone a little bit in their own pocket of air right now. We'll look back, CERT Axel still right behind Apex Predator. The 2 of them seemingly the ones to watch right now, the two that are possibly going to be in a fight. Vitamin G just a little bit further up the road to the two of them. It seems Vitamin G with around a 2.5 second gap to Apex Predator, so he's quite comfortable right now. And Apex Predator, well, he's not comfortable at all. He's got that pressure from Axel behind. Currently only 9 tenths behind. He's definitely going to be feeling it. Definitely going to be having to get a move on. Possibly try to catch up to Vitamin G ahead. But most importantly, just stay ahead of Axel, who's really trying to put on the pressure. Currently Axel just following along Apex Predator. We know the two of them very similar on pace. They were very close in qualifying times in the initial qualifying session. And I believe if it weren't for a mistake from Apex Predator, would have been much closer in the Super Pole qualifying as well. In fact, I believe they were next to each other, weren't they? They were 4th and 5th, so yeah, yet again, very close to one another. But currently a gap seemingly emerging just a little bit. There is 1.3 seconds between the two of them now, so Axel, he's lost that slipstream. He's really going to have to get a move on to try and get it back or challenge for that 6th position. It's very hard to challenge for 6th position whilst he's out of the slipstream. But looking ahead, we do see Apex Predator with a penalty. Apex Predator, he's going to have to burn that penalty at some point on the straight, but not in the braking zone. So he's moving off of the racing line, he's burning the penalty, and ERT Axel easily able to move ahead, as Apex Predator just had to let him through there. As Apex Predator now the one with some work to do, as we do see Alex coming into the pits, and ERT Axel losing the rear ever so slightly. We do expect Alex to emerge in around 7th position. He hasn't quite had the pace of Axel and Apex Predator, but he seems to have had Mr. Heppo and ERT Wizard in his pocket right now. Speaking of the two of them, Mr. Heppo has just been overtaken by ERT Wizard. And I believe we've caught that on camera, so we'll cut to the replay. This is nowhere near what I was talking about. This is from lap 4. Yeah, okay, maybe I pressed the wrong button. But anyway, looking back ahead, we do have Apex Predator right on the rear of ERT Axel. 5 tenths between the two of them. Axel in the Nissan and Apex Predator in the Lexus. Very evenly matched cars. More evenly matched than you can compare the Honda to for either of them. As that sentence didn't fully make sense, but we'll go along with it anyway. But Apex Predator slowly closing in that gap. 3 tenths between the two of them. It is getting very close now. Apex Predator was able to pull ahead of Axel ever so slightly during his stint while he was ahead, but he didn't pick up that penalty, which now cost him. But he was able to increase that gap to around 1.2, 1.3 seconds. Now Apex Predator right in that slipstream. Will he be looking for a move going into the next corner? He's looking down the inside. Axel's left the room, and Apex Predator seems to have made the move work, but Axel no. Axel has had to pull out of it. Looking down the inside, but not able to go for anything just yet. We'll have to see if there's any sort of move going into turn 1. Axel right on the rear. We'll cut to bonnet camera. Right on the rear of Apex Predator, around 1.5 tenths separating the two of them. Will he be looking down the inside? He is looking down the inside. And it seems as though he's made the move work. Apex Predator now forced to the outside for the next turn, and Axel moving back up into 5th. An excellent little fight there, but could Apex Predator be looking to fight back straight away? Not quite. Just tucking in behind Axel right now. He knows he's got some good pace here. Currently Axel well, just quite easily pulling back ahead of Apex Predator. It seems as though he just braked absolutely perfectly going into that first corner, and that was able to move him up into 5th position again. And Apex Predator, he's going to have to try to find a different place to make a manoeuvre. He did make a manoeuvre going into the last chicane. He could try it again, but it didn't work out for him last time, so we'll have to see if he decides to go for it somewhere else. The first corner, typically the best place to go for a manoeuvre. However, as you saw just there, you can fight back from a first corner lunge, depending on your car placement, as Apex Predator actually losing quite a bit of time there in the gravel a little bit. And Apex Predator really off there. And now right out of the slipstream of ERT Axel is Apex Predator. 1.3 seconds back. We'll just have to see what happened there as we will cut to that still lap 4. Oh, why is this happening? Z. That's still lap 4. Okay, yeah, my keyboard's broke, apparently. Yeah, we have no replay camera anymore, or we only have one replay camera from a very long time ago. As thank you, Dak, or Doc, Dak, I will. Oh, that was a mistake and a half. Thank you, Doc. I do consider myself to be in my prime. Thank you very much. But currently looking at the 2 leaders as we move on to the final 2 laps of the race. We have Legner trying to chase down Bellin, 2.5 seconds back. He did have that car in between the 2 of them of Alex Warts earlier. Alex did end up letting him through, but it would have slowed him down a little bit in his attempt to slowly creep up to the rear of Bellin, who currently has a commanding lead. And with 2 laps remaining, it would be very difficult to bottle this, as he could really just take things nice and smooth for himself. Try to bring it home for another sprint race victory. Bellin possibly with 2 sprint race victories in a row. So currently doing an excellent job in the sprints is Bellin. And as he comes through the final chicane and the final corner, we'll move on to the final lap for ERT Bellin. We'll cut to the bonnet camera. It doesn't seem as though anyone is close to one another right now. As you can see, the final lap of the race. We'll watch as Bellin goes around for one final lap of this sprint race, braking just after the 100-meter board, just before the apex, not the apex, the curbing on the left-hand side. Making the car roll through that next corner. And again, letting it roll through the other one. There's a lot of rolling around here. You do, of course, have the heavy braking into the chicanes, into the hairpins. But in that initial stadium section, you are just letting the car roll ever so slightly, just inputting tiny little bits of throttle to get the car around, a little bit sideways through that corner, but handling the car nicely. As the Honda, well, it does deal well with corners. Obviously, it is light as a feather, as you quite often see it drifting around, but it does seem to just be quicker around those corners because of that drifting capability. It does sound strange, but you can see a similar thing in GR4 cars when you watch the Alfa Romeo. Oh, my words can't come out properly right now. But Bellin, a little bit of weaving just to celebrate his victory. He knows he's already won it. He's got 3 seconds on Alegna. He's clearly listening in on the stream and just thinking, yeah, Brownie, I'm going to celebrate a little bit for you. So yeah, just a little bit more weaving. I'm not sure if he's just taunting Alegna at this point. But Bellin coming towards the chicane for the final time of the sprint race. Riding the curbs ever so slightly, almost losing the rear there. But hanging onto the car nicely. A little bit of a drift through that final corner, just to celebrate. And Bellin comes home for first position, spinning the car out even, just for the lols, as Bellin wins the sprint race. Alegna coming home in second place. It was a good challenge from him, but after losing out to Bellin on the start, he wasn't quite able to regain first position, as ADX Dawson in third position rounds out the podium for the sprint race. A little bit closer than he would have liked, with Bitmin G very close behind him, 1.6 seconds to Dawson. ERT Axel manages to hold off Apex Predator for 5th position as Apex Predator's race seemingly crumbled a little bit towards the end as Apex Predator claimed 6th position. Alex Warts, we can see, in 7th. Wizard in 8th. Mr. Hippo very close behind in 9th position, and Fubs in 10th position, trying to cut the final corner as everyone else has already finished. Not quite able to do so. If you didn't know, when you don't get reset to the track, you can in fact jump that tyre wall in some cars, and it can be very entertaining. But we have track reset on, so sorry Fubs, not happening. But anyway, big congratulations to ERT Bellin, claiming not only the race victory, but the fastest lap as well. A 47.1. And congratulations to this man. ERT Bellin wins the sprint race. Big congratulations to all the racers there. But especially to the podium sitters of Bellin Alegna and ADX Dawson. Dawson having that magnificent rise in the first lap. And he was just able to hold on to that podium position after that. Bellin doing a very similar thing in claiming first position, able to move ahead of Alegna initially. And then easily able to hold the gap to Alegna and claim that first position. As now we have about a 10-minute break whilst we wait for the feature race to get underway. So everyone at this point should know what the feature race is. It's essentially double the length with tyre wear, with some fuel as well. And of course, the most essential part, the fact that it is reverse grid. So everyone will be starting in the opposite position to what they finished in the race we just had, which definitely makes things a little bit more entertaining on the initial few laps, as the fast guys at the back are just fighting their way through to the front. Yeah, massive congratulations to these guys for doing a fantastic job. As you know what, I'm going to do something that I've never done on stream before in one of these Gr.2 races. I am going to unplug my keyboard. I'm going to plug in my wheel, and for a second, while we've got a bit of time, I'm gonna... We'll go with the Nissan. It generally seems to be the all-rounder, as I need to put racing hards on. As why not have a little bit of fun while we're waiting around? Obviously, you guys can ask some questions if you want to. We could just have a little bit of general banter while we wait for the race to get underway. But we've got a few minutes now. We've got enough time to put in a couple of laps, just for the lols. If any of the racers are currently watching, you can, of course, try to come around and ram me. But I wish you luck. I am very much impossible to ram. That is basically a challenge. Oh, you can really tell that I haven't driven Gr2 cars too much. Wait, what's that saying? Virtual hot lap around Nürburgring by ERT Thunderstorm. Yes, I fully agree. All the settings just changed. Right, let's go again. Yeah, we'll go for a bit of a lap as Axel is deciding to join me on track. Oh, and so is Alegna. Oh god, this is a terrible idea. Alegna is inside me. Oh, he's totally waiting to ram me straight away. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, he's... Oh, great job, Alegna. This is... Yep. That's definitely a Nürburgring World Finalist, or whatever it was called. live event driver, as I really have no idea how to take any of these corners. I haven't driven GR2 in so long, as I really need to actually look at the road and not at the comments that Mr. Heppo is saying purely to distract me. As Axel now right behind me as well. Oh no. Oh, none of this is going to be well. Going to go well. As they're all right behind me. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my lord. Axel definitely just proved me wrong. Okay, yeah, I can be rammed. Okay. Oh no, not Bellin. None of this is going as I expected. So, track guide. Well, this is the gravel, Legna. This is the gravel that normally most people don't see because no one is bad and gets into this gravel. My car is currently impossible to control because I've got so much damage. Legna is waiting for me into this next corner. He's not quite turning into me, so I'm okay right now. This is the corner you can go a little bit wider and pretty much take out that cone as I just did. As you can see here, I have little to no grip whatsoever and I'm into the gravel. I don't even need someone to take me out. I could quite easily just do it on my own. Ah, there we go. No damage anymore. As Axel himself has gone out, as it seems at this point everything's just happening for a bit of fun. As Legna missing me entirely, as I've completely cut these chicanes, as I'm going to go super slow, so they essentially take each other out. I'm going to push Legna into the pits, hope that... Oh no, he doesn't go into the pits! As Bellin is also waiting for me, knowing that he can quite easily catch up to me straight away. But I do have around a 1.5 second gap right now, so we'll see if we can set a lap, even with a little bit of front damage. Braking very early for some reason. Why did I do that? Oh, Legna has got me quite easily. And so has Bellin. And none of this has gone as expected. I have total damage apart from my left tyres. Oh my god. I have made a terrible mistake. Why did I decide to go driving for a little bit? This is not what a commentator should do. Oh, go away, Legna. The thing is, he doesn't have engine damage properly, so he's just going to crawl up to me instantly. Oh, there we go. Engine damage is gone. Right. Now is the time to start trying to go quickly and failing at it quite badly. This is essentially Wreckfest, just... Oh, Fubs, why? I mean, does that count as me taking him out, or him taking me out? As Legna again is waiting for me. This feels like... Oh, I don't even know. This feels like what Mr. Heppo said earlier, except it's... Thick Brit gets rammed by literally every GR2 car imaginable. So I know this is flat out, so he can't get me through here. Although he is right in the slipstream. I'm going to defend. I'm going to let him go and hope for the best. Because currently we're switching to the race anytime now, so I will actually have to leave pretty soon. But before I go, a little parting gift for Legna, because I do absolutely despise him. Where is he? There we go. I think I've done my job well here. As that was absolutely amazing. 2 minutes remaining. I am never driving again. I need to plug my keyboard back in. See, people ask me, why don't you drive as much anymore? It is this, Legna, and Fubs, and Wizard, and Bellin, and Axel, and Apex Predator, and all of them, they are the reasons. As admittedly, I am just stupid rusty in GR2 cars, as I haven't driven one in Oh god, it must be a very long... It must be a month or so. I can't remember the last time I actually gave GR2 cars a good go, but currently ERT Axel with a fastest lap of 2 minutes 26, absolutely flying around the Nürburgring Grand Prix track. Olegna a full 31 seconds slower. That is around his normal pace. 31 seconds off the back of the pack. And that's only on an individual flying lap. That, yeah, fully expected from Olegna. As I'm only saying this to really annoy him. He's watching this. I know it. So I'm fully just saying this to annoy him. But anyway, we do have the race starting any minute now. Any second now, sorry. As we're really just getting a nice drifting session with the lads. Of course, the drifting is way more entertaining. I wish we had a proper drifting race, so it's just style points. I feel like we need something like that. A race which is nothing about the race position. It's all about the style. That would definitely be entertaining. As there is a cone right in the middle of the track. Okay. Mr. Heppo saying good luck, and that he is a beginner. We know that, Mr. Heppo. Your driving shows it quite clearly. Oh, Savage. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm so sorry, Mr. Heppo. I just did you so dirty. Anyway. Oh, I'm an embarrassment to this team. Right. We should be underway now, Wiz, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to get things started, yeah. Ouch. Oh, sorry, Mr. Heppo. I forget that you're watching as well. There we go. Wizard, good luck. Have a good race. We are underway now. Now. There we go. I said it. Second time's the charm. And this time we will see Fubuki on pole and Mr. Heppo starting alongside him in second position. So this should be very entertaining. Sorry, Wiz. He knows I'm not very professional and he's getting annoyed at me. But yeah, we are underway with the second race. We have Fubs on pole position, Mr. Heppo in second, Wizard in third, Alex in fourth, Apex Predator in fifth. With Bellin starting from the back after his victory in the last race. Of course, we do have the manual rolling starts we have for this league in operation. So everyone's just going to have to go ever so slowly around the track. 60 miles per hour is the limit. Fubs will lead the way with everyone else just having to hold position. Going around the track before we get underway later on. Same procedure as the last race. As it does seem we only have 25 laps. I didn't know, Fubs, you don't need to knock out the cones, mate. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Maybe. Because I believe last time he started on pole for the sprint race, no, the feature race. So, but he did lose a few positions off at the start, so maybe deploying some tactics there, just spreading some cones out, putting obstacles for other people to have to avoid, so he can just fly away straight away. 10-second lead out of the first few corners. Fully expect that from Fubuki. As yeah, we have essentially a minute to wait now before the race gets underway. While the formation lap is boring, it does make the race just seem ever so slightly more official. I was about to say efficient. Efficient isn't the right word. Official. As it is what most real-life racing leagues do involve. You do have that formation lap where people are warming up their tyres to get them up to temperature for the race start. Whether it be a standing start or a rolling start, like it is in this case. Currently coming through the Schumacher S, not the Senna S. I got the two mucked up sometime. I believe that was in pre-season. I kept calling it the Senna S when it is the Schumacher S. Or I call them the S's, but that's Suzuka. Let's be honest here, there are too many S's in tracks in general, in all the world's tracks. They need to come up with something else. Because just any other letter, like a E. What about the S, et, and no, Eddie Irvine E. I can't think of any drivers that begin with E, to be quite honest. That is embarrassing. But now, dropping to 40 miles per hour, the driver's going to be. As they round the final corner, they will line up side by side, 2 by 2. Foobs on the outside, Mr. Heppo on the inside. As we wait for the go signal of the fastest lap, approaching that start-finish line, and they're underway. Initially, Alex seemingly getting a very good start on everyone. Already moving up into first position. Alex just flew out of there straight away and is already up into first from third position. A brilliant start there from Alex, and not only from him. It seems Bellin currently moved up into fifth and looking around the outside of Foobs ever so slightly, not seemingly like he's going to be able to pull that move. He is all the way around the outside of Foobs. That's going to turn to the inside for the next corner. A magnificent start from Bellin all the way up into fourth. He's really trying to get back in that title fight with Alegna, who currently sits in fifth position, but Dawson is trying to fend him off. As Bellin and Alegna always very close in the championship fights. Alegna possibly moving up into fifth. Yep, he's got that move done. But currently, ADX Dawson possibly losing another position to Apex Predator, as Apex Predator easily able to slide down the inside there. But Alegna, very wide, has actually lost a position himself to Apex Predator. It seems as though he just went a little bit too deep into the hairpin, which has in fact cost him another position, which is going to be very costly for him, as he needs to get back up to Bellin, who got an absolutely monstrous start, along with Alex Wards, currently 7 tenths ahead of Mr. Heppo. He's done a fantastic job at getting that start dead on correct, and now going to be looking to pull away from Mr. Heppo and try to keep his car in the lead. Looking back, we do have Alegna 4 tenths behind Apex Predator. We will watch him for a second, as currently we know he's the man that needs to be fighting his way up through the pack the most. And he does seem to be the closest person to someone on track. We do have Bellin very close to Axel, but not quite close enough for anything yet. Alegna 3 tenths back. Could he be looking for something? He's looking down the inside of Apex Predator, who's left the door open, and Alegna already up into fifth. Apex Predator now looking around the outside, not quite going for anything. Thinks better of it and tucks back in behind Alegna, who is now directly behind Bellin again, as Bellin looking down the inside of Axel, not quite able to go for anything just yet, and that has in fact backed him up a little bit into the path of Alegna. But Bellin 2 tenths back from Axel. Axel's going to have to defend if he wants to hold the position. Bellin looking down the inside, and lovely move there from Bellin, who's claimed third position. And now we're going to have to watch as Alegna directly behind Axel as well. Will he be able to follow Bellin through? Maybe looking for a move going into the hairpin, looking down the inside, braking a little bit late, but Axel able to hold on to the position right now. As this has been very eventful for the two guys who are always considered front runners. But currently the top three: Alex, Mr. Heppo, Bellin in fourth position, Axel fifth, Alegna. But could these two be swapping anytime in the next few seconds? Alegna very close to Axel. Could he be looking down the inside, maybe around the outside? Looking around the outside, a little bit on the grass there, and Alegna a little bit sideways, losing quite a bit of time to Axel. Really unfortunate there for Alegna, trying to go around the outside. Not really a place you can look around the outside going into that hairpin. As now possibly we'll see Apex Predator. It's very close to Alegna. Could he be going for a move on Alegna? Alegna actually looking down the inside of Axel. Not able to go for anything just yet. Tucking in behind him. He was quite far away from Axel. Currently having to settle into fourth position, as Bellin is able to streak ahead a little bit and try to catch up to Mr. Heppo. We'll quickly cut to the replay. No, I've pressed the wrong button. We're not cutting to the replay. Oh, why does that keep happening? I do need to check at some point if the replays work. Currently watching Alegna. Mows up ever so slightly to Axel. Axel in fourth right now. Really having to defend hard from Alegna, who's piling the pressure onto him. We know Axel very much with the pace to fight for podium positions in this league, but has found it difficult to keep up the pace of Bellin and Alegna so far, as many people do, to be quite honest. But actually, looking back, we do see Wizard, unfortunately, a bit of a spin. We'll see if we can catch that on the camera. No, oh my god, that is empty. Okay. We'll cut to Bellin then in that case. I have no idea what is happening with the replays there. As hello, Jenick, very nice to see you. We are currently 4 laps into the GR2 IGTL Round 7 feature race. Yep, there are so many little things I have to say. But Bellin currently 3 attempts back from Mr. Heppo. Could he be looking for a move going into any of these corners? Not quite. But is Alegna looking down the inside of Axel? He is. They're going to be side by side going into this next section. Alegna forcing Axel. No, Axel forcing Alegna, sorry, to the outside. But could Alegna be looking down the inside of this next corner? He is. Typically a very nice place to pull off a move, and Alegna has been able to do that very easily. Moving up into 4th position, now behind Bellin, who is still right on the rear of Mr. Heppo. The two of them both in the Honda. We know Bellin has been typically able to handle the Honda a little bit better. Mr. Heppo has not been quite on pace yet today, but currently holding 2nd place, doing absolutely amazingly. Not quite able to keep up with Alex, who has about a 2.5 second gap to him, but still doing a fantastic job to hold 2nd place so far. But will Bellin be taking that anytime soon? The gap around 5 tenths right now. He'll have to close it up a little bit more if he wants to be pulling a move going into the next chicane or turn 1. As he'll want to pull the move as fast as he possibly can, as Alegna will be closing that gap rapidly as long as he stays behind Mr. Heppo. But not able to go for anything just yet. We will look back to see Apex Predator right behind ERT Axel. Not able to go for anything just yet, as he's just settling back in behind him. Possibly lining up a move going into turn 1. Axel getting a little bit sideways out there. We'll check on Bellin as quickly. 4 attempts behind Mr. Heppo, not close enough. Possibly, no, looking down the inside is ERT Bellin. He's gone for a little bit of a lunge. Side by side, the two of them are going to be going into this next corner. Of course, both very similar on handling, as they're both in the exact same car. Bellin's going to have to go all the way around the outside. A little bit of contact there as Mr. Heppo goes a little bit deep. But now Bellin trying to get the switch back on him. Again, going around the outside the next corner has actually made it work and moves up into 2nd. Brilliant job there from Bellin. That initial little bit of contact would have put him off, but actually it put Mr. Heppo off more, who has now lost the position to Bellin, as he was able to get a lovely little cutback going from outside on one corner to the outside of the other, and moving up into 2nd position as now Mr. Heppo. He's going to try to stay in that slipstream of Bellin to keep ahead of Alegna. It would be lovely to see Mr. Heppo on the podium. We do love our friendly Finn. But actually looking back a little bit, we do have Axel and Apex Predator still very close between the two of them. They were fighting absolutely... Oh, I can't think of the words. They were fighting a lot, basically, in the sprint race. Axel getting on the gravel slightly there. Could that allow Apex Predator a chance going into this next chicane? Axel defending, going into it. But Apex Predator deciding not to go for anything just yet, but is right behind Axel, as Apex Predator actually coming into the pits now, along with ERT Bellin. No, Alegna. Got the two muddled up there. We've often seen Alegna do this. He's often opted to go for a bit of an undercut to get onto those fresh tyres and essentially try to pull some fast laps, while Bellin who was ahead of him, is going to be on older tyres. Going to be going a little bit slower. But currently Axel, well, he doesn't have Apex Predator to worry about anymore. He's comfortably in 4th position, although Vitmingy and ADX Dawson will undoubtedly want to try and close up that gap, try to claim a podium position. But looking back at ERT Allegna, down in 9th right now, but of course everyone ahead of him has not made a pit stop yet, and that will be essential later on. Could we see differing strategies here? It does seem as though fuel does deplete very quickly around this track. I'm not 100% sure what multiplier we have on today, but in a matter of 6 laps they were immediately down to around 30% of fuel, so definitely quite a high fuel multiplier going on right now. As Allegna, fresh out of the pits, will be looking to try and set as fast a lap as possible to close up that gap to ERT Bellin. Obviously, he did have Mr. Heppo between the two of himself and Bellin. So coming into that pits could have been a bit of a strategic call. As we'll check if ERT Bellin comes into the pits. He does not come into the pits, opting to stay out even longer. So currently Bellin in clear air, in fact. Doesn't see the need to come into the pits at all, as he does in fact set the fastest lap of the race right now, 47.9. Obviously, fuel is a factor in this race and tyre wear, so people are going to be setting slower lap times currently if they are on the hard compounder tyres. As in the sprint race, obviously with no tyre wear and no fuel multiplier, they were basically on fresh tyres and the lowest amount of fuel throughout the entirety of the race. We'll check on ERT Allegna, see if he's about to set a faster lap than Bellin. No, he is not. Allegna not quite able to... Oh, he's on an out lap. Of course he's not. We will forget about that and move back to Bellin, who is slowly closing up to Alex. The gap now 2.5 seconds. It was about 4 seconds, I believe, earlier on, before basically a lap ago. So Bellin definitely closing up to the back of Alex Warts, as his tyres will be wearing, but obviously Bellin's full as well. Bellin has been able to pull a 3-second gap to Mr. Heppo behind him, so he's definitely got quite a bit of pace in that Honda. Now he's just looking to keep it smooth, keep it calm, slowly catch up to the back of the current leader in Alex. But we will have to see when, in fact, he does come into the pits, as that will play a massive factor. Of course, Allegna opting for that undercut could eventually emerge ahead of him. Does Bellin opt in to go into the pits? He does not. Bellin still deciding to carry on into this race, with Alex also opting to stay out right now. Bellin not really making massive inroads in to Alex that lap. Oh wait, no, he did. He's still at 47.4. So Bellin going a little bit faster that lap. Must have really gained all his time in the first sector, as he only gained about 2 tenths in the final 2 sectors. And actually, as you can see right now, he is indeed putting in a lovely first sector, slowly closing up to Alex through here. This is the more technical section of the track, so it is much easier to gain time through that sector. As Allegna claiming the fastest lap now off of ERT Bellin. Of course, Allegna on fresh tyres. He was able to go around 1.5 tenths faster than Bellin that lap, so he is slowly eking into what will essentially be second place right now. As until Bellin and Allegna have moved, well, until Bellin has moved ahead of Alex, we're not 100% sure where Allegna's going to emerge. And the fight will be for second right now, but the two of them definitely closing in on the leader. Alex losing a couple tenths through that corner there, leading onto the main straight, and losing time down the main straight as well. Of course, Bellin absolutely mighty in the Honda, but Alex doing a fantastic job right now, it has to be said. In first position in that Nissan, he's doing very well, as he decides to go into the pits right now, as Bellin follows him in. So the two of them definitely running low on fuel now. But Alex, he's done a fantastic job there of holding on to his lead. It has to be said, Alex hasn't had the greatest of seasons so far. He's had a few one-off highlights. I believe he got 5th one time, or something like that. But yeah, he's done an excellent job here so far, holding on to that lead, and hopefully he can keep a high up position. The only man yet to pit, though, is ADX Dawson. Dawson opting to stay out even longer into this stint. But we will look, in fact, at Alegna, because Alegna, currently right behind Fubuki, may come out ahead of Bellin. So going into that first corner, Alegna looking down the inside of Fubuki, easily able to make the move work. But Bellin has fueled the car up to 100%, so he's got a lot more fuel than Alegna at this stage in time. And it's definitely in with a chance of doing a little bit of a different strategy to Alegna. It does seem as though the two-stop is the optimal right now, but Bellin, well, he's around... how far behind is Bellin? Around 3.5 seconds behind Alegna, but with an entirely full fuel tank. It's going to be interesting later on. We'll look back, though, at a little fight here between Mr. Heppo, Vitmiji, and ERT Axel. Mr. Heppo, unfortunately, has been dropping down the grid a little bit ever since being overtaken by Bellin and, well, just by Bellin. And now, having to fend off Vitmiji is Mr. Heppo, currently doing so very nicely. He was able to hold him off going into that hairpin, just taking his line as per usual. Vitmiji not quite close enough, but definitely very close to the rear of Mr. Heppo right now. But not quite going for anything just yet. Is ADX Dawson actually coming to the pits now, so finally deciding enough's enough. He only has 1% of fuel, so he definitely couldn't have stayed out any longer. So he's done a pretty good job of fuel saving throughout that lap. As now Mr. Heppo trying to defend against Vitmiji. Vitmiji trying to go around the outside, but Mr. Heppo with a much better line through the chicane. Definitely going to be able to hold on to 7th position right now. And ERT Axel trying to look all the way around the outside of Vitmiji. Could he make that work? Possibly. The two of them still side by side going down this main straight. And the three of them in a massive pack right now. This could turn into 3 wide going into the next corner. Vitmiji right in the slipstream. Not quite braking to go down the inside. But ERT Axel tries to look around the outside of Vitmiji, which is now going to turn to the inside. And ERT Axel moving up into 7th position. A lovely move there as Vitmiji not timing his overtake on Mr. Heppo very well. And unfortunately, not in the correct position there, really, to go for any sort of move, as he was around the outside of the chicane. And because of losing all that momentum, he's now moved down behind ERT Axel as well. So a lot of work there to do for Vitmiji if he wants to try and move up a further few positions. But currently, looking again at your race leader, it's Alex Ors. Alex doing a fantastic job here, it has to be said. Currently sitting in 1st position. He's doing amazing. Holding off ERT Alegna right now. The two of them both in the Nissan, both teammates. As it doesn't seem as though Alegna going to be close enough to go for any sort of move into this next corner. So currently Alex, well, he's in a net 1st position. He's doing a fantastic job here. And could we see Alex's first podium in the GR2 season? We do hope to see it, because Alex, he's been fantastic to watch from times. He's had some excellent little fights here and there. We would very much love to see him stick on the podium in this race, as Fubuki coming into the pits on lap 12, so doing a fantastic job stretching out the fuel there, as that is his first pit stop. So he's massively fuel saved throughout that stint. He's going to move down many positions right now, but he's done an excellent job there of fuel saving. But Alegna right behind Alex. Alex is going to be feeling that pressure, but he is fighting essentially for the race win right now, so unlike last time, we're not going to see him let through Alegna. as they were on different points in their races because of the Joker lap. Now Alex is essentially fighting for the race victory, and we love to see it, from Alex. He's doing a fantastic job. He's really placing his car in all the right places. As he goes a little bit wide there, going into that corner, but he will have the inside line going into this next corner. And he does just tuck in ahead of Alegna. He was able to carry more speed. And Alegna, he's having a really hard time trying to find a way past Alex. His car positioning right now is absolutely perfect. Cutting the corner a little bit there is Alex, but he's not picking up a penalty, so doing well so far. Getting a decent run out of that corner. It's going to be difficult for Alegna to try and pull into that slipstream and make a move. He was looking for something earlier on in the straight, but currently nowhere near close enough, and Alex still holding on to first position throughout that entire lap. He's doing absolutely amazing so far. A little bit on the grass there, but hanging onto his car very well. But Alegna now very close to the rear of Alex. Only a tenth separates the two of them. Will Alegna be looking for a move down the inside, maybe around the outside? He seems to be looking down the inside. But Alex still holding on to first position. Alegna not quite able to go for anything there. And this is brilliant from Alex so far. Not normally someone we see fighting for even the podium positions, but now he's really in the fight for this race victory. He's doing a fantastic job so far. And not only that, he is in fact holding up Alegna, which is allowing Bellin to slowly creep up. Now, that wouldn't be too bad if they were on equal amounts of fuel, but Bellin has a massive fuel advantage. But now Alegna looking down the inside of Alex. As there's a little bit of contact going into the corner, Alex just tapping the grass ever so slightly. As I think Alex has picked up a tiny penalty. He seems to have burnt it already, so that's fine. But Alegna now moving up into first position. As Alex just tapped grass, he lost the rear ever so slightly. And Alegna was able to move up into first position. But now, not only that, Alex is really coming under pressure from Bellin directly behind him. Bellin only 2 seconds behind Alegna, so definitely has caught him up after his later pit stop. And will Bellin be looking for any sort of move on Alex into these upcoming corners? Not quite going for anything into the chicane. Leaving Alex for now. But Bellin definitely sizing Alex up for a move. Getting a very nice run through that final corner. Only 2 tenths separating the two of them. Could Bellin be looking for a move going into this next corner? Alex is defending. Bellin's going to have to look around the outside as Alex defends to the inside. Could Bellin be trying to go all the way around the outside? He is. The outside of that corner now turns to the inside, but Bellin seemingly has already made the move work. And Alex down into third, Bellin up into second position. And now he has to try and hunt down Alegna for that race victory. A little bit sideways is Bellin there through that corner, but hanging onto the car well. As Alex really riding the dirt a little bit there, but holding on to third right now. He's got Apex Predator for company directly behind him. As this race for the podium is really spicing up now. But Alex doing a fantastic job so far. And a brilliant move from Bellin, as Stevie has in fact just said. A brilliant move from Bellin all the way around the outside. Just turn to the inside. As we will cut for a moment to look back at ADX Dawson. Oh, I've really cut to a battle there. ADX Dawson right behind Mr. Heppo right now. There is a massive fight going on here that I did not know about. ADX Dawson right on the rear of Mr. Heppo. The two of them teammates in the Honda. Could ADX Dawson be looking for a move going to the next corner? No, he's given Mr. Heppo a little bit of a tap though. But not gained an advantage from it, not gained any sort of positioning. Mr. Heppo not getting a great run out of that next corner. ADX Dawson with the superior run. Could he be looking for a move going into the next chicane? ADX Dawson is looking down the inside, deciding to back out of it for the moment. Deciding it's a little bit too risky to try and go for any sort of move just there. ADX Dawson right on the rear of Mr. Heppo. 4 tenths separating the two of them. We have got a lot of battles right now. It seems we've got quite a few packs of cars right now. We're 5th to 8th right here. And 1st to 4th further ahead. But Mr. Heppo trying to look around the outside of ADX Dawson as ADX Dawson going around down the inside. Mr. Heppo now down the inside of the next corner, seemingly trying to defend off ADX Dawson, doing well so far. Forcing ADX Dawson wide and holding on to 6th position right now. But Mr. Heppo gets a slide on out of the corner, and that's not only lost in position to ADX Dawson, has also lost in position to Vitvici. Really unfortunate there for Mr. Heppo. We'll look back there and just see what happens. No, we won't, because my replay camera is still broken. So, Polyphony Digital, please fix. There's definitely, it's not my keyboard, because that was just weird. There was definitely something just entirely wrong with the replay system right now. That's all really unfortunate, but looking back, Fubs lost the rear coming out of the first sector. And unfortunately, just stepping on the gas a little bit too hard. Moving a little bit further behind Wizard now, onto the grass a little bit there. Not going well for Fubs right now. But looking ahead, we have Bellin really closing up to Alegna. Nice replay feature. Thank you, Stevie. It's really working well. As Apex Predator coming into the pits now. Only 2% of fuel in his car, so he's really got to fill that up all the way. We're currently watching this battle going on right now. ERT Bellin right behind ERT Alegna. Bellin with more fuel on his car, we do believe, as he did fill up all the way into his pit stop, and he pitted the entire 2 laps later than Alegna. So Bellin really right now, all he needs to do is just close up to Alegna and overtake him in the pits. But of course we do want to see this epic on-fight or on-track fighting going on. On-fight track going on. Oh, words are hard. Bellin currently sitting around slipstream range from Alegna. Falling back a little bit through that corner, but gaining it on the exit. As we said before, the Honda very good at accelerating out of those slow corners. And Bellin around 6 tenths behind Alegna now. It's definitely closed up through the Schumacher S's. Will he be lining up a move going into any of the future corners? It doesn't seem as though he's close enough to go for anything into the next chicane. Stevie, just a little report from him. Bellin is flying. He absolutely is. Bellin setting some absolutely monstrous lap times right now. Of course, we're not 100% sure what tyres he's on. I don't like to know that, because it makes things a little bit less interesting. If we know what tyres they're on, I just think it's better if we don't. But anyway, Bellin 4 tenths behind Alegna, really closing up on the rear of him. Could he be looking for a move going into turn 1? Not quite. Looking down the inside, actually, is Bellin. Alegna's going to have to hold it around the outside, which will turn to the inside for the next corner. But Bellin going really aggressive into that first turn. Not quite able to go for anything just yet, but now looking down the inside of the next corner as Alegna has left the door open ever so slightly. But it seems Alegna easily able to hold on to that first position there. And now Bellin just going to tug back in behind Alegna. Wait for a better opportunity to arise. As Stevie is daring me to take a quick peek. Go on. We never do this. Racing hards, racing mediums. Ooh, that is interesting. So Alegna currently on the softer compounder tyres. As you can see, a little bit more worn than Bellin's tyres, but the two of them actually very similar on fuel. Bellin does have a little bit more, but it does seem as though Bellin's saving the faster compounder tyres for the final stint of the race. But anyway, we'll get a... Oh, I feel bad now, Stevie. That is peer pressure. But Bellin right behind Alegna now. 4 tenths is separating the two of them. as Bellin has been absolutely flying on those hard compound tyres. He's been catching up to Alegna on a softer compound tyres, so clearly showing that Bellin in that Honda has been setting some monstrous laps, as Bellin deciding to follow Alegna into the pits. Now Alegna will have free choice of tyres here, as he has already used both medium and hard compounder tyres. But Bellin will have to go onto the medium compounder tyres, as he's only used hard so far. That shouldn't be an issue for Bellin, as he will be able to make the tyres last. And not only that, Bellin has around 10% more fuel than Alegna, so that will come into consideration during this pit stop. So we'll have to see if Alegna tries to underfuel, if Bellin tries to underfuel. And we'll have to see who comes out of the pits ahead here. It's going to be very close between the two of them. Just waiting for one of them to go. As it seems Bellin getting underway now is moving ahead of Alegna, who's directly behind him. Both of them, I think, on medium compound tyres there. But now Bellin with a 1.5 second gap to Alegna. Things have just got interesting as Bellin moves back ahead of Alegna. And now Alegna's the one with a bit of work to do. But we'll look back again to see ADX Dawson coming out of the pits right behind ERT Axel. ERT Wizard looking to go down the inside of Dawson. He's now going to go around the outside for this next corner. He's holding it there right now. He'll have to go around the outside of another corner, not quite able to do that, as Dawson on fresh, albeit cold tyres, is able to hold on to 7th position right now and can start pushing to get back ahead of ERT Axel on his fresher rubber. But all of the action happening coming out of the pits right there. And the man who's just streaked ahead, in fact, is Alex Swartz. We love to see it. Alex, 10 seconds ahead of Mr. Heppo in second, and about a further 10 seconds ahead of ERT Bellin. So Alex really not out of contention here for the win. Maybe out of contention for the win, but at least a podium position should be possible here for Alex. He's doing a fantastic job. As he comes into the pits now, 5% worth of fuel in his tank. Medium tyres, we'll have to see what he switches to. As Mr. Heppo also following him in 10 seconds back with the same amount of fuel, the same tyres, the same everything. We'll quickly cut back to ERT Axel, see if anything's happening. He's closing right on up on Apex Predator, looking down the inside, not quite going for anything just there. As I really am catching the action as it's happening. That was... oh, it's the reactions. It's just the reactions. But Alex here could be looking at moving back up into third here. Alex is coming out of the pits now, and he will, in fact, reclaim third position. He's going to be ahead of Apex Predator and ERT Axel. Apex Predator looking down the inside, or Axel looking down the inside, sorry, of Apex Predator, and has in fact made that move work. So Axel, Apex Predator and Dawson really locked in a fight here for 4th position right now. That could really benefit Alex ahead as Apex Predator spun it a little bit. Coming out of that corner, turn number 4. Really unfortunate there, as in fact it seems Dawson gave him a bit of help there. Dawson waiting up for Apex Predator, letting him go back past, so Dawson clearly involved in that little spin that Apex Predator had. And that has really allowed Axel a massive gap to the two of them. Really unfortunate for not only Apex Predator, but Dawson as well. He'll be really disappointed, because he was essentially in a fight for a podium position. He might still be, though, as he's looking to go around the outside of Apex Predator going into this corner. That is unheard of, generally. He's seemingly making it work, though. He's now got the inside line, but Apex Predator shutting him off and holding on to 5th position right now. But ADX Dawson not done with Apex Predator. He's looking to go down the inside. He's made the move work already. Apex Predator just doesn't seem to have the pace right now. As Dawson already moving up into 5th position, and Vitmin G very close behind now, is looking to get involved in this fight as well in his Lexus. But all of this is really just allowing Axel and Alex to move further ahead in 3rd and 4th. Vitamin G, very close to Apex Predator now, looking down the inside, going into turn 1. He's brakes late, he seems to have made the move work, as now he's holding the inside line for the next corner, and Vitamin G moving ahead of Apex Predator, who just seems to be losing quite a few positions in recent laps. Really unfortunate for Apex Predator. Earlier on he was challenging ERT Axel for fourth until he eventually lost fourth position to him. And after the contact with Dawson, he's not only lost a position to Dawson, but also to Vitamin G as well. Really unfortunate for Apex Predator. Yeah, fair play to Dawson for waiting, as you say, Stevie. Takes a big man to own up to his mistakes. Yeah, very well done to him. Looking ahead now, we can see ERT Axel really closing up to Alex. We were really hoping for Alex to hold on to this podium, and this is the fight we have to watch if we want to see if he's going to be able to do so. As good evening, Skypick. Very nice to see you. We are currently underway with the Gr.2 IGTL season, different IGTL, but ERT Axel very close behind Alex Warts right now. Really closing up to the back of him, as Alex seemingly not getting a great run out of the chicane. And Axel looking down the inside, seemingly, a bit of contact between the two of them. And Alex not able to hold on to third position. A little bit of side banging between the two of them, but all is fair in love and war there. And Axel moving up to third position. Really unfortunate for Alex. He was leading so early on, and now dropping out of the podium positions. Really unfortunate. Hopefully he can hold on to that fourth position and claim his best result of the season. But Axel now up into thirds, doing a fantastic job, as we will cut back to this amazing little fight for fifth. As actually it seems they've all spread out a little bit now, to be fair. As Apex Predator falling off of the back of Vitamin G ever so slightly. Really unfortunate for him. So we will in fact cut to the leader for a bit. ERT Bellin currently holding a 2.5 second gap to Alegna up ahead. As Stevie, I already know what you're thinking. Like, you don't even need to worry, mate. Like, come on. As Bellin setting purple sector after purple sector, currently 5 tenths purple going into the final sector. We'll have to see what sort of lap time he sets. But currently it's definitely looking like a low 46, which is a very fast lap on medium compound tyres with low fuel. As he comes across the line, it is a 46.2, a mega lap there from Bellin. And you can see why he's pulling that lead to Alegna now if he's setting lap times like that. Doing an absolutely fantastic job. He is smashing it, Stevie. He is indeed. But we'll look again back at Alex, who seemingly is about to come under fire from ADX Dawson. Really unfortunate for Alex. He hasn't quite had the pace after losing his first position to Bellin and Alegna. Now he's coming under fire from ADX Dawson, who was looking for a move there, but not quite going for anything just yet, thinking better of it. Tucking back behind Alex, waiting for a better opportunity to arise. Only 3 tenths back from Alex, as Dawson seemingly a little bit quicker around this first sector. But Alex just holding his lines right now, and holding on to fourth position, trying to keep ahead of ADX Dawson. ADX Dawson really closing up. We've seen some amazing fights involving him, and are we about to see another? He has been absolutely amazing in both races, gaining 3 positions on the sprint race as he looks around the outside of Alex. Could he be looking for a switchback? But Alex holds the line very nicely, really parking it on the apex, so Dawson has nowhere to go. And holding onto fourth position right now. But Dawson really not backing off, right behind Alex. Throughout the entirety of this lap, only 3 tenths separating the two of them. And Vitamin G, in fact, is getting involved a little bit now as well. Alex is really going to have a lot of pressure coming towards this next chicane. Dawson only 2 tenths behind right now. Alex looking to defend the inside line. Dawson going for it a little bit as there's contact between the two of them. As Alex down into 7th position after that, a bit of contact between Dawson and Alex. Oh, so unfortunate there. Alex defending that inside line. Dawson trying to go for a move down the inside, but there wasn't quite room to go down there. Tapping the grass a little bit, which in turn led him into the path of Alex, who unfortunately came out worse there and has moved down in 7th position. Really unfortunate for Alex. Cut ahead to ADX Dawson, however, as he does still have a bit of pressure on him from Vitmaji and Apex Predator behind him. But really unfortunate there for Alex, as ADX Dawson picking up a 3.5 second penalty. He's going to have to burn that on the next straight. So he is essentially going to lose positions to both Vitmaji and Apex Predator going onto this next straight, as he has to burn the penalty. Possibly a little bit of Polyphony digital payback, we'll see. Unfortunately, Alex still down in 7th position though. As Apex Predator really lagging actually. As you can see, just we saw his car in the gravel in the distance. Oh yeah, there's the lag. Well, it makes for some interesting racing, watching someone lag about. So we'll watch Apex Predator for a second. Holy, oh my, oh! This is not going to end well, is it? Oh my god. As Apex Predator really jiggling around the screen a little bit there. Oh my, oh my lord. Bye. Let's be honest, we were waiting for that to happen, but that was definitely some entertainment. Really unfortunate for Apex Predator that he's disconnected, but I have to admit that was some of the most entertaining glitching I have ever seen. As you said, Stevie, nose into the Apex for sure. That was insane. But what we have missed while watching that, whatever that was Alegna setting a 45 lap time. He's into the 45s now, the only man to do that so far. Both of the two leaders of Bellin and Alegna on medium compounder tyres, both on very similar amounts of fuel. Now Alegna hasn't really closed the gap quite enough, so clearly Bellin holding consistent pace, but Alegna right now, clearly with the ultimate, as he's gone around 3 tenths faster than Bellin's best lap. So doing an absolutely amazing job, the both of them. Bellin currently holding the consistency. As we actually move on to the final lap of the race, Bellin with a 2-second lead over Alegna. It seems as though Bellin might be able to claim 2 race victories in a single round. So that will be absolutely amazing for Bellin. The first time he's going to be able to do that in any round in the IGTL season. As no, Bellin is lagging. Oh, please no. Please no more lag. We've had enough. Oh, as the top 2 yet definitely in a league of their own, Stevie. As you can see, ERT Axel... No, that's Vitmaji. Oh, Vitmaji's moved ahead of ERT Axel. Oh, I've completely missed that. And not only that, but Dawson now is looking to challenge ERT Axel as well. Looking down the inside, going into the next corner, into the first corner of the lap. Trying to go down the inside, but now ERT Axel's going to have the inside for the next corner. Clearly Dawson on fresher tyres. He's going to try to look down the inside again, possibly. Yes, he is. A little bit of contact between the two of them. And Dawson moving up to 4th right now, but ERT Axel holding on down the inside next corner. It's just one person has the inside, then the other, then the other, then the other. It has been back and forth between the two of them through that first stadium section. And currently Vitmaji's seeming like he's going to claim the final podium position. But the little fight here is not done, with Dawson really hammering the rear of ERT Axel. The the fight for fourth place is definitely not done, but we have to cut for a second to ERT Bellin. He's coming around, he's drifting it round the final corner. He knows he's won. He's enjoying himself a little bit now. He's just swirling the car around. Imagine he'd have lost it on the line there. And ERT Bellin claiming first position yet again. A brilliant job from Bellin. Second place goes to ERT Elecna, but Dawson has moved ahead of Axel. Will Axel be looking for a fight back here? Trying to look around the outside of Dawson. They're both braking quite late. They're side by side going into the final chicane. Axel with the better line actually around the outside. Holding fourth place. Brilliant there. As Vitmagee's run out of fuel. Oh my god, Vitmagee has run out of fuel going towards the line. And Axel is going to claim third position. Brilliant job there from Axel. Really unfortunate for Vitmagee. As Dawson claims fourth, Vitmagee out of fuel is going to claim fifth. Alex Warts in sixth. Mr. Heppo will come through for seventh. Wizard will come through for ninth or eighth, and for Buki for ninth. But Axel there, right on the line, claiming that third position. So close there, but Vitmagee just running out of fuel coming towards the line. So unfortunate for him. But Axel, he really held on to that fourth position, and it turned into the final podium spot. Absolutely amazing there from ERT Axel. As Dawson, in fact, claiming a 3-second penalty towards the ends there. As yes, F for Vitmagee, but not only F for Vitmagee, no F for Vitmagee, no fuel. You guys are all right. But really unfortunate for Vitmagee there in the end. But an amazing job there from Bellin. Bellin has been your winner of both the sprint race and the feature race. He's done an absolutely amazing job. A 1.7 second gap to Elegna after deciding to have a little bit of a spin going into the final corner. Or the... you know what I'm talking about. As unfortunately, Alex lost a lot of time because his TV turned off. Oh, so unfortunate there for Alex. He was in a nice pocket of air until his TV turned off. As unfortunately, that happens to quite a lot of people, but really unfortunate for Alex as he was fighting for that podium position there. But massive well done. To Alex, in fact, he did show some brilliant pace there, but GG to Bellin, Elegna and Axel, claiming first, second and third in the feature race. It's been an excellent little night of racing. Absolutely amazing fights up and down the field. We had the absolutely amazing first lap in the sprint race of Dawson, gaining 3 positions. Same with Bellin in the second race, and Alex gaining, I'm pretty sure, 3 positions straight off of the start. And Bellin claiming about 6 positions on the first lap. And not only that, we had ERT Axel claiming an emotional podium right at the ends there, doing absolutely amazing. Unfortunate for Vitmagee that he ran out of fuel, but sometimes that happens. You just got to plan ahead a little bit, and unfortunately not quite able to fuel save enough. He may have underfueled to try and get an undercut. We don't know, but really unfortunate for him. But Vitmagee's loss is both Axel and Dawson's gain, it seems. Well done to all the races, in fact. It has been an excellent night of racing, and thank you everyone for coming to watch. It's been fun. It's always fun commentating on this league, because we do have some excellent races. We have some of the top racers in my mind, and yeah, always fun to commentate on these guys going for battles. And yeah, that's it from me, really. We're done for the evening, and yeah, we'll see you next week for what I believe is information. Where is it? We have Catalunya. No, maybe Catalunya. I was right. Yes, next week for Catalunya. Thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you next time. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Bye-bye. My controller's turned off. I need to turn my controller back up. Yeah, bye guys!